let's go. Oh, I forgot my hat to fool people into believing that I am not bald. Yeah. Alrighty, that's a lot better. There we go. Alrighty.
Wow, you got hair.
I know, right? It fools everybody. That's the Tim Pool way. That's how he goes about it too.
True.
Obviously, yeah, we didn't have an auction tonight because me and the family were out doing small town Christmas stuff, which is nice. It's a lot different. Like there's this church that built up all these lights and everything, and you know, they ask for donations and such. Of course, it's a cashless world now. So we're driving. Oh, okay. Are we supposed to give? We're not, but you know, if I had a couple of bucks, I would have thrown it in because it was really nice. But we're used to Disney, so you know, we're used to just the big thing, and this was nice. This was very pleasant. You know, a lot of small businesses around town got together to put on little light displays. So it would say, you know, this light display was sponsored by Joe's Crab Shack or something like that. And it was really nice, though. And going through, one thing that really, really did stand out to me is Christmas looks better in snow.
Oh, yeah.
That is something of it. It was done very well. We went and saw the town Christmas tree and they've got booths. A lot of restaurants from around downtown, around the city were there, and you know, it was nice. We had a good time out. I got a cough and a half by hanging out in that cold air, though. Let's see. Neurotic used to like The Force Awakens, and John Campion used to like Star Wars prequels. Don't believe me? Look up yourself, says Jane. Okay. You know, and people's minds change a little bit. My whole thing with the Star Wars sequels. I liked Force Awakens. I liked Last Jedi enough. I do have to admit that over multiple watches, it kind of has diluted. Never liked the last one. I think they ruined it. I think they ruined their chance to do something great. The fact that they didn't have a final meeting between Han, Leia, and Luke, of course, is probably the biggest mistake of the Star Wars sequels. Let's see. I'm sorry to all the drone spotters on the Northeast for saying you're stupid for looking up and being worried. It's a real thing going on. So yeah. So what's going on here? An hour later than usual, the thumbnail doesn't have an auction on it. Yeah. We were doing Christmas stuff. I mentioned this yesterday. That we were going to be doing Christmas stuff and wouldn't be home for the auction tonight. And I was wondering if we should do one. So I decided, yeah, we're going to do a Wednesday auction because they seem to be very popular. So I'm pretty sure everybody's going to be online on Wednesday. And yeah, it's going to be basically an all-day thing too. So look out for that. Basically, yeah, but we just were doing the Christmas stuff, so yeah, we figured we'd save it until Wednesday.
Oh, nope.
No, I'm just kidding. That's Christmas.
I was about to say.
Yeah, no, yeah. So we're going to be checking out. We're going to be doing an auction on next Saturday and such. Also, everybody was so kind last week. I didn't want to double dip the chip, so to speak. You know. Because I know this is the last minute to go out and buy the groceries and whatever last minute gifts. Shit, I got to go get pies. Gail said she bought the Christmas dinner and everything. The only thing she didn't get was pies. Oh, you know, I want to get her something also. And I was thinking, I saw that for $20. I saw these. It was something I had when I delivered newspapers. It was like a car seat that was a massager and heated up, which is something we could use up here because I bought a plug into your lighter heater. Our lighter doesn't work, so that doesn't work. I used to like both too. It took me longer for me to see the sequels for the crap they are. Yeah. Not today, not being auction day is actually very convenient for my wallet situation. Yeah, that's what I kind of figured, you know, so let's wait until next week. heard about Harley Quinn April release. Apparently, it's a scratch and stuff. Yeah, I saw the meme. I didn't see any kind of article for it. I don't know anything about it, but so this is where we're at, huh, ladies and gentlemen? It's this is where we're at. Harley Quinn's Christmas gift to fans, well, is all about farting. Well, you know what? We needed a topic. We got a topic. Then fuck it. Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. DC Comics recently revealed their solicitations for issues coming out in March. And for the most part, it's about what you'd expect. There's a lot of continuations, ongoing series, and a good number of first issues. Blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. The one people weren't expecting was Harley Quinn Fartacular Silent But Deadly, #1. It's not a joke. Well, maybe it is a joke, but it's something that is that very much exists and will be available on comic store shelves with all the others. If you have trouble finding it, don't worry. The comic features real artificial rub and smell farts. That means that not only do you get to see a cover of everyone being forced to smell or gas, you'll be forced to as well. Well, so long as you don't scratch us. I'm pretty sure it's a stanky-ass comic anyway. Let's see. I've been holding in all my very worst bits of bubble guts for the last 32 years, and it's all been leading up to this epic explosion. Your nose will never be the same. You'll gag, you'll cry, you'll feel things you ain't never felt before. This fine publication is a celebration of all things past, present, and tutor. Tutor.
Yes. Yep.
My soul just died. I felt a little bit of my soul dying.
Has there been a character that just went directly from the top directly to the bottom?
I remember
Harley?
when everybody had high hopes for Harley Quinn when she first appeared in Batman the Animated Series. I mean, great, simple costume. She was the Joker's girlfriend, just as evil, by the way. And if you wanted to get serious about what she was, she would be a great analogy for women who put up with abusive boyfriends or husbands. And she could have been the star of and the lead in some very, very good stories. Tutor, by the way. That's where we're at right now. Sequential art's place in the annals of history is about to change. The release of Harley Quinn Fartacular Silent But Deadly.
Uh-oh. Somebody else farted too. Yeah, he had an internet fart. Tacular. So what's up, guys? What you got going on? What do y'all got going on today? Oh, watch Sonic 3, huh? CNC? What'd you think?
Well, that's damned inconvenient, but there you go. Okay, so yeah, I'm too tired as it is. Everyone take care. You have a good one. Haven't most DC Comics of late looked and smelled like shit? Yeah, once again, sorry guys. I picked up a cough tonight, and I don't know if it was the dry, cold air or what. But then again, Gil is full on sick, so maybe that's where it came from, and I'm about to get hit. Harley Quinn was great as Sparky sidekick with one-liners. When they tried to make her an anti-hero out of her, it ruined what made her great. The other thing is the Ivy relationship. I mean, they took two birds out with one stone on that one.
They sure did.
Because Ivy's no longer a great villain anymore. She's no longer a great character. Neither is Harley.
No,
yeah, it's pretty disgusting how they just destroy these otherwise very, very well written characters.
Well, they're one dimensional, and that one dimension is their sexuality for each other. You know, it's just so stupid.
Yeah, I can't imagine your entire personality being put into the people you're banging. Seriously.
Yep.
Just Christmas stuff and watched Dexter: New Sin. Now we watched what is it? Disney. It was Mickey's Very Merry Christmas. I've always loved that special since it first came out. The one where Max is trying to get his letter to Santa, and Huey, Dewey, Louie kind of Groundhog Days Christmas. It's one of my favorite Disney. We also watched the Christmas Carol by them with Mickey's Christmas Carol. We did that tonight before it jumped on. But yeah, good times. Let's see. In the news, Superman trailer was just released. Personally, I didn't care for it. I heard a lot of people going off. I didn't think it was bad. It's a teaser trailer, though, so it like has very little, if any, information. I did like a lot of people going off on Nathan Fillion for the way he looks. He looks like Guy Gardner.
Yeah.
Seriously, that's how Guy Gardner looks in the comics. It's fine with me.
I have a bigger problem with his costume than the hair.
The white costume.
It makes him look awkward.
I'm wondering if he's like working for Maxwell Lord at this point, so that's their uniform.
Oh,
he's not really a Green Lantern. He's not in his Green Lantern outfit at this point. That's what I believe anyway. Let's see. Was a great Spy 7. Anyone cheer when the things happened with the girl? Was hilarious. Shadow best character. The I haven't seen Sonic. I haven't seen Sonic 1, much less the new one.
They're done.
And let's see. I'm at Earth X Trade. You got me in that short box. It's miserable. That might be my least favorite book in the short box. Not a happy story, that's for sure. Let's see. Corner Gas was at least funny and worth it. And Cartoons and Comics wants to jump in. I don't see why not. Let's go the old-fashioned route here, and I'll put it. There we go. I wish there, this is something I used to do whenever we had the drama going on. I always found the biggest argument, and then I drop the link in, see if anybody would want to come. I disagree with you. Come on in and chat about it.
Hello.
Once in all of that time, did anybody ever jump in? Hey, what's up, Cartoons?
What's up, man?
Working, just exhausted of the Christmas sales.
Yeah.
I watched the Superman trailer, and my thing with Superman is I really liked the Superman Lois, and something I missed in this trailer was Superman smiling.
Smiling? Well,
yeah.
Once again, it's a teaser, so he just wanted to get the big images in. This is something to look out for. You were going to be fighting some big ass monsters. We've got these characters playing a part of it. What you're talking about would be more character moments, and that usually doesn't show up in a teaser trailer. I understand we all have our expectations for what the movie's going to be, but remember, teaser trailer. This is not really even indicative of what we're going to get. It's just it's almost like showing just a couple of moving pictures right here, almost like it's Harry Potter. Whenever they do a teaser trailer, it's like a Harry Potter news story where the pictures are moving, but you got to read the article to actually understand what's going on. Let's see what we got here. Problem is James Gunn is hit or miss. Yeah, it's true. Hoping for the best, but omens are not good, especially his statement about Superman's allegory for the current USA. Usually whenever we hear anybody in Hollywood, that means Trump sucks. And but let's give credit where credit is due. It is not James Gunn's idea to make Lex Luthor into Trump. Not at all. Hold on just a sec. Go and find, you guys are near your computers, I'm assuming, so you can actually go and look up Donald Trump, The Art of the Deal, and you can check out the cover to that.
Oh, yeah, the Luthor.
And this is the Lex Luthor unauthorized biography. So making Lex Luthor into Donald Trump isn't even an original idea. This was done 30 years ago. Very well, mind you.
And I don't believe he's doing his to Trump. I believe he's doing him to be Elon Musk.
Either one.
Yeah.
I mean, they're right now, because of what happened with that bill, the Democrats are saying they're one and the same, you know, same old story. Let's see. James is saying, in Craven bombed. What do you think about Craven the Hunter movie? Okay, thank you. You know what? I should be actually doing real reviews of this. I'm lazy, by the way. Two things happened this year. I became nervous. Like I'll set up everything to record and I won't record it. I became like punch drunk for some reason. And it's also, I became, and that just kind of put me on a slide. I've recognized that about myself, so I'm trying to get past it now. It's like writer's block, but for YouTubers. I'm very much easy to do with this than I am to record. Usually what happens is I'll record a video, I'll put it up, 10 people might click on it. On this channel, you know, the live streams get a couple of hundred views, 10 people will watch a video on this one. Let's see. And Craven, but I really should do review of this movie. Let me tell you, I did watch Craven, and yes, I know it bombed. When I went and saw it, it was in their IMAX theater, and this is the biggest theater in the AMC here. And me and 2 other people were in that theater, and it was like at 7 o'clock. This movie, nobody's interested in seeing Craven the Hunter. So I'm watching this film, and it's got its problems. Make no mistake about it. But about halfway through the movie, I went, wait a second, this is the worst film. You guys need to get the fuck out and see more movies. This is nowhere near the worst film of the year. No, it's not even the worst major release. I mean, for fuck's sake, Madam Web, it was far, far worse than Craven the Hunter. The problem with Craven the Hunter, the big problem, is anytime they're not moving, they are saying words that no human being would ever say to each other. And it's all exposition dump. There's no characterization to them whatsoever. We get no idea of Craven's motivations other than what the movie tells him to do. And that's one of the way they talk about, the way they do dump this exposition is incredibly stupid. It's really, really bad dialogue. The action, it's okay. You know, I've seen worse. I've seen better. This one, it's, as I say, it's entertaining. Will I see it again? Yeah, probably not. I haven't watched Morbius since it was in theaters. I actually watched Madam Web with Gail because I do this thing where if I'm mad at her, if she does something to bother me, I'll put on a really bad movie and then take a nap. And I'll take the controller, I'll put it on the other side of me. She hates it when I do that, but yeah. But look, I mean, there have been movies that this entire side of the culture war has declared bad that I've enjoyed. The opposite, by the way, of Craven the Hunter would be Marvel's. I actually liked all the dialogue and I liked the interaction between the 3 ladies, the leads of Marvel's, and it really sucked whenever the action started. You know, but I try to find positives if there's positives to be found in a movie. I brought it up earlier, the Star Wars sequels. I cannot tell you anything positive about what was it, Rise of Skywalker?
The third one?
The third Star
that was pure suckdom from beginning to end.
Can I say something about the Marvels?
Yeah.
As an editor, I will say the problem with the Marvel is simple. The action has no weight. Just like Thor Love and Thunder, action is supposed to have weight. And that's the big problem with current Marvel phase 4. The action doesn't feel like have weight like in the past.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, Austin is asking about the shipping. How's the shipping? I have had trouble because I've been running out of boxes and such. Thankfully, I have a big ass box of boxes that just came in. So I will start to get things out on Monday. I do apologize for the tardiness, but I was able to order them. They've come in. So there you go. Even if I set them out on Monday, they're going to be after Christmas. I do apologize for that, but at least there's been progress. I finally got new boxes in. Yeah, I was running out. I had enough boxes, short boxes and such, for functionality. You know, the ones that held the books for the auction, the ones that and the one that I put the one books in. Let's see. Seeing the first 8 minutes of Craven, he looked fun, moving about, jumping, looking weird. Yeah, and that's what I said. It's fun. I didn't say it's good. there's a lot of what I call entertaining movies out there where it wasn't bad, but you know, you paid your money, you're sitting down. Why not look at it a positive light and find what's good and have a little fun with it? I say it's entertaining, meaning if it's better than if you were staring at a blank screen for the same amount of time. So Craven is like Ant-Man 3 with theater seers. Yeah, look, there were elements of Ant-Man 3 that I liked, but I didn't like the movie. I can't, like, oh my gosh, am I actually going to say this? I would recommend Craven before Ant-Man 3.
Wow.
Definitely.
Here's why. Ant-Man 3 is longer with less awesomeness. Like there's more gaps between what I enjoy about Craven or about Ant-Man. Like the scene in the end where we're actually seeing how powerful an ant/giant man can be. Loved it. Absolutely loved that bit. I don't like underestimating the size changers. And so when they actually show off how powerful they can actually be, I like that kind of thing. And I do think Majors right did a great job as Kang. But there was so much in between the good stuff that
the pacing was the problem.
Yeah, I recommend neither. By the way, this right here, the Crow reboot, that's in contention for worst film of the year for me. I watched I make it a point. I don't count any, if I'm making a list, top 10, top whatever, if I didn't watch at least half an hour of that movie, I don't count it. I made sure that I watched a half hour of this piece of shit because if I do a list, I want to tee off on that motherfucker like nobody's business. That movie was suck. That movie was offensively sucky. You know,
this movie offends the memory of the Brandon Lee so much, and also the comic book. I have the comic book since I was 14. I was a god kid. I love that shit. I have 4 copies of it, and then you watch this movie and you're like, "Oh my fucking god!"
And I was like, "Wow, I used to love this thing. It's okay now to me. It's good, but you know that does happen to you as you get older. You know, you have different sensibilities when you're younger than when you get older. Am I still on here?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
God damn it.
No, he's about to go out. He can't hear us.
Oh.
Be any second now. Bye, E. You
Can
got
you hear
a big
us?
booger in your nose. Big old booger. I can't hear. There he goes. Okay. So how's the weather down there, man?
It's raining here in Latin America because it's summer right now.
Oh, it's right below the equator. Everything's low. Yeah. Is that weird? I guess not. It isn't weird for you celebrating Christmas when it's hot outside because it's already
No.
Sorry about that. Let's see. Yeah, Crow Reboot 2, 3 worst movies of the year. Yep. This year was a lackluster year for comic book movies, and I don't think you'll be better. The only comic book movie I'm looking forward to next year is Fantastic Four: First Steps. That I'm not. I want to. look forward to it. And I'm very prejudiced, by the way. I have no good reason not to be looking forward to the Marvel, except for their track record with this next phase. But here's the thing. I don't want to watch Pedro Pascal in anything anymore.
Yeah.
And it's not because he's bad. He's actually not a bad actor. It's just, for fuck's sake, there's more people than just him. I almost was like that with Josh Brolin, by the way, the guy who played Thanos. He was Jonah Hex. He was oh goodness gracious.
Cable.
He was Cable. Yeah, by that time I was like, wait a second. You could have had what's his name from Avatar, and you went with Josh Brolin. Go with somebody else for fuck you, seriously.
Yeah,
but I was almost like that for him. Look, Pedro Pascal's a fine actor, and yes, I know he's a leftist, and most of them are. But it's the Sean Penn effect. You know, I've been watching Sean Penn movies for 40 years now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? He's a great actor. I'm not, he's a nut bar, but he's a great actor. Pedro Pascal is fine. He's just in everything. Go on ahead.
He will blew the number of movies he can be in.
Mm-hmm.
It's too much.
Wait,
it's like The Rock. The Rock wasn't everything a while ago. Remember?
The Rock sucks as an actor, but yeah,
still but that's why.
Yeah.
There's too much of something. You kind of feel. Oh please! It's just like you eat burger every day for an entire year. You don't want to see burger for the next decade.
Yeah, that's true.
That is true. Actually, for me, last week I was hungry. I went out and grabbed some Taco Bell nachos and such like that. Okay, I just need something to quickly fill me up and such. And then the next day, Gil's like, I feel like Mexican. Okay. And then the next day, you know what? That was good. Let's go. Oh. So like I'm good with Mexican, and I'm just washing my hands of it. The one problem I see, the story is being written by a Hollywood writer who thinks they're above the comic book writers to brush off. Well, that's just the way it is. They are, and think about it. No movie script writer is trying to break down the doors at Marvel to write a comic book, but it is going the other way. Or they go to crowdfunding or whatever to get their own comic book out so they could sell it, hoping to get that Mark Millar Netflix deal where he produces one movie and collects $900 million. By the way, it wasn't a movie, it was a TV series, which was also, it was kind of good. I like Jupiter Ascending. But I'm looking forward to the Superman movie. I like the teaser. It was really good to me.
Same.
Yeah. There's a new movie coming out with Daisy Ridley. Looks to be bad carbon copy of Die Hard. It's called The Cleaner. In the 90s, there was Die Hard on a train, Die Hard in a ship, Die Hard in I've seen it. It's just they're riding it.
The new Daisy Ridley movie, who is Die Hard. People are talking about this.
Yeah, that's what I hear. It was a ripoff. Yeah.
There's a couple of things, and here's where I'm going to forgive all. And I said this about the actress for Rose Tico, in The Last Jedi and all that. Here's my take on it. Just because Daisy Ridley was in the worst Star Wars movies doesn't mean she's horrible or it needs to be shunned or anything like that. Every one of you guys, if you had a chance to be in a Star Wars sequel before these sequels came out and you knew what they were going to be, you would have jumped at the chance. And I'll stand to say this. If you are geek enough, and even after Last Jedi, somehow you got an offer to be in Rise of Skywalker, knowing how bad Last Jedi was, you would still say yes. She's an actress. She says what they tell her to say. There you go. It wasn't so bad in Murder on the Orient Express, which I love those movies. The what's the name? Hercule Poirot or something? Yeah. How long have you been here? I could reach you. I've been here we've been on this for 30 minutes right now, Darkness. And hello to One Slick and KRENIZ. Good evening, everyone. Hope all is well. As all can be. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. We had a very nice small town Christmas day. We're looking forward to it. I did feel a little bit of wow. I was like, what is it? The big city guy who goes into small. We did it better, for a little bit. Well, we had the Osborne family lights. I don't know if you guys know the story, but this guy basically took over his entire street and made this huge light display that some of his neighbors sued him for. Disney bought those lights and brought them down to Hollywood Studios, and every year they would have this huge light display, and they started adding to it, and it was wonderful. It was brilliant. So when they say, hey, we put on a big light display, I went down and I went, you know what? This is a small town big light display. But the thing is, as I said earlier, me and the family, we drove around, we looked downtown, checked out all the Christmas stuff, and I will say this, then Christmas looks better in snow. It was so beautiful tonight.
I bet.
Yep. Let's see. She is typecast. No one's hiring her now. Yeah, I hope she gets work. I mean, let's see what they can actually do outside of that. I think Rose Tico, whatever her name is,
Kelly Marie Tran.
Yeah, I think she's done. I think she got such vitriol. Good luck to her. I don't even know if she herself would go for it, but
And the guy who played the Black Stormtrooper. I think it's hurt.
John Boyega.
Yes, I think it's hurt his career too.
I'll tell you what, man. I saw him. I didn't know his name, but there's a horror film that he was in. It's called Attack the Block. That fucker's awesome. That is a good movie. I recommend that one to you guys. Check it out. It's called Attack the Block. Have you noticed the sharing protagonist in every Star Wars movie? It kills their on-screen career. Luke, Mark, the Tia that played Anakin, yeah, and her playing Rey, playing the lead as a curse. That being said, Mark Hamill did have himself a career. It might have been in voice work more than on screen.
Yeah,
but
true.
He had himself a career, and that happens quite a bit. I actually found out.
But we can say the same about the Marvel movies and what Chris Evans is doing outside of Captain America and even Chris Hemsworth.
Chris Evans has had a good career.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, he had one even before Captain America.
He was in the one with Ryan Gosling, that action film, Every Guy or something like that, where he played the bad guy. He was in the Iceman.
Loser. He was in The Losers, which is an underrated movie.
That was a while back, but yeah. He's had a career though. Snowpiercer, while the Marvel Universe was going on, was pretty good. I hope. But there he was in Knives Out. One Slick Dudes reminded me that was a good movie. That was a really good movie. I like those movies also. The Glass Onion, little less because, I won't spoil it for those who haven't seen it. Check it out. But I had problems with it, but it was pretty good.
Oh my God!
Because any movie he was in, everyone pointed out and went, "Hey, it's Luke Skywalker." Yeah, but he still had a career.
My AI is on, and when you talked about Knives Out, it's for 2018. Knives Out. Yeah. Oh my God! It's like where time go, man?
I know. Yeah. Well, that ain't gonna get better, brother. That's not gonna get better for you at all. When you hear shit like, what do you mean Lord of the Rings was 20 years ago or 25 years ago? Yeah. That was yesterday. I remember I was holding my daughter when she was 10, or something like that. It's like, what the fuck? Yeah. It does not get, time just goes by quicker as you get older. Chris Stevens Santa film. Let's see. He had to go into voice. Well, okay. Yeah. I was about to say, acting is such a weird job. I mean, the people that is such a very, very infinitesimal amount of people who are into this particular job. And just look at the amount of Christmas movies we get now, because everybody wants to make their own, what are they called? Lifetime movie thing. There are just so many actors out there. I mean, you can have a guy who wants to make it big, does all the things, has scripts, maybe goes out to Hollywood, stays there. He goes to auditions, of course, gets that waiter job. He goes to auditions, maybe gets a spot as a background player. Okay, he was able to say 2 lines, ends up trying, what do you call it? Not rehearsal, audition here, audition there, spot here, spot there, realizes he can't live there anymore. He's got to go back to his hometown where he gets a job as an acting coach. He made it. That's being successful as an actor. I actually had this conversation with some of the actors at Universal Studios, because a lot of them did just that. They went to Hollywood, they hit their shot. One guy got a cameo in Meet the Spartans, by the way. It's one of those shitty comedy films where they parody everything. He's the Cyclops. And he was the Cyclops in Meet the Spartans. And he was there. And I said, well, you know, at least you're acting. You made it. And they didn't understand it. You're at Universal Studios and you're acting. You are using your talents. You are acting for a living. Somebody is asking you to be somebody else and say the words of the script. It doesn't matter. You know, I mean, yeah, you want to be the movie star. You want to make millions and millions of dollars. But so long as you're making money using your skills, you've made it. You know, you can have a Neil Adams, but there's a lot of comic book artists that maybe we forgot the names of. Hey, guess what? They made it. You know, I mean, even Richard over at your boy Zach. You know, he's making comics. He made it.
Yep.
You know, it doesn't matter. So long as you're doing what it is you wanted, congratulations. It may not be to the level that you wanted to be, but you made it.
Even background artists are more secure than actors, because actors are very, they have a lot of vanity, and comic book artists don't have this. We have more focus on your work than we have in yourselves. Most people don't know comic book artists by their face. They know the comic book artist by his art. You know?
Yeah. Oh,
That's
let's
why
see. Last thing, one slick
mentally
saying,
health.
last thing I remember Mark Hamill in was Kingsman One Slick. On Netflix, there's a show called The Fall of the House of Usher. Mark Hamill actually plays the muscle for, he plays the guy willing to do the dirty work for the rich man. And he does it convincingly. I'm like, wait a second, Mark Hamill's like 3'3". I mean, he is not a big guy, and he's convincingly playing the muscle. It was done really well. I do recommend check that out for a decent Mark Hamill performance. And yeah, I actually saw Corvette Summer in the theaters there in A Disguise. And yeah, it didn't make a lot of money, but it was pretty cool. Annie Potts from Ghostbusters was the romantic lead, I guess, or the love interest, I believe they would call it. Yeah,
it's not a bad movie.
They don't want to be background. Everybody wants to be. You know, nobody wants to be the background person. But look, if you can actually do and make a living doing background, which there are background actors that make money doing that. Some of them you actually probably have known, like the fat guy with the big red cheeks and the tall curly hair. He was able to make a career out of that for a while. You know, it's just the way it is. And then you've got that guy, you know, who you see, okay, wait a second, that guy was in this and this. What is his name again? I don't know. It's that guy with the, you know. But yeah, I know a lot of people think that you only make it if you're Tom Cruise, you know, but no, there's levels. There's levels to that kind of thing. Think about this. Mr. Beast and what's his name, PewDiePie or something like that. They're two incredibly successful YouTubers with millions and millions of views.
Oh, it happened again.
Yeah, I mean, you can look at Mr. Beast and you can look at PewDiePie as successful YouTubers because they've got billions of views with millions of subscribers. But you'd be wrong if you said that Nerdrotic wasn't a successful one, even though he only has, a couple 100,000 such. Brian James was never lead actor, but had a long career as supporting actor. That's what happens. Mr. Beast is going to fall apart in time, and that happens to a lot of people. It happens to some very professional. It happens to people who've been in big movies and such. Yeah, I don't know how we got onto this particular topic either, but yeah, it's all right. It is awesome. Let's see what it was in the title we were talking about. What was in the
DC?
Okay, here's something, and this was brought up by. Oh wait, I know I had this too. I saw the top 10. I used to do these lists all the time, and this is the top 10 comics for the week. Now I'm pretty much out of the new books. I just cannot bring myself to be too interested in them. But I did think it was interesting enough to talk about because for the longest time, DC's getting their asses whipped by Marvel. And here we have Absolute Batman 3 kicking the shit out of Ultimate Spider-Man 12. Now, different animals, you may say, well, yeah, Ultimate Spider-Man's on 12. It's a little bit past the new freshness. It's been going on a year now. Absolute Batman is, like I said, it's the new freshness. It's got everybody excited. It's the hot young chick on the block. But it is something to say. I think it's more impressive, by the way. Not that Absolute Batman beat Spider-Man, because Batman kicks the shit out of a lot of people. But New Gods #1 is third place. That's more impressive to me than Batman being in first. Batman belongs in first. Whenever they put, it is almost where Batman lives. That's his house. But New Gods, that's pretty good. That's pretty awesome. Then, of course, G.I. Joe with Joshua Williams. Joshua Williams, great writer. Recommend damn near anything. I don't even know what a Helverine is.
That's the problem.
I read the write-up, and apparently he's got hellfire on his claws. Goodness gracious. All righty. I like anytime the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are in the top 10. It's got Jason Aaron. Didn't exactly thrill me with 4, but there you go. Psylocke 2 by Alyssa Wong, who I think is all right. Batman and Robin Year 1. The TVA, little bit late, but okay. You want to do a comic book off of characters from Loki, go right on ahead. And then Fantastic Four #27. But I thought it was actually interesting that Absolute Batman kicked Ultimate Spider-Man's ass, and then New Gods was the third place title right behind him. But there's not much to this story anyway. They used to actually have the people who contributed give a little comment on what they thought about the history. But yeah,
New God is the only teen. No, Fantastic Four is #10, but it's like the only teen book on this.
Well, yeah, I mean, unless you count the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you're right. Well, G.I. Joe's a team. I would say, yeah, right there. You're right.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, New Gods and GI Joe. That, but I don't know.
No Avengers. For a very long time, Avengers was.
Well, there was a very long period in the 80s and 90s. Avengers couldn't sell. I mean, X-Men was kicking all sorts of ass, but it was it was just
X-Men too. Oh my God! What happened to the teams of Marvel?
Let's see. You can it's tough for so long. Take a look at PewDiePie's doing fine though in a disguise. There was never any sort of reliable top 10 sales records ever sold to public. Not a list of. Well, that's what the Bleeding Cool was. They would call around to comic shops. So what sold, and they would get from a whole bunch of different comic book shops, and they would put together, okay, this is the one that most people are selling, and boom, 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 right down the line. Let's see. Ghost Machine has been pumping out bangers, says Darren X. Hello to Dark Admiral. What's up? Ram B is a fantasy writer. They drove off too many old-timer Follick book fans and did not replace them like they thought. Well, that was actually something I got into an argument one time with CB Spolsky, and it was over this article. Somebody wrote an article talking about how many female fans are out there. And one thing I was talking to him was exactly that. He says, you know, you've got your birds in the hand. That's us. Especially people my age at the time would buy anything. Like, I'm a Teen Titans fan, meaning you put something Teen Titans out there or Legion of Superheroes, you put something Legion of Superheroes out there, I'm going to get it just because it's Teen Titans or Legion of Superheroes. But they heard that there's so many female fans out there. So they went after them and they let the birds go. They let us go. They don't give a fuck about us anymore. We're old, we're aging out. You know, they want to get once again the young new. Problem is that article was wrong. These female fans aren't fans of comic books, American comic books. They're fans of Japanese comic books and Japanese animation. So they thought, okay, let's make it more like that. Except for they didn't. You know, you have Coffee Talk with the Champions, where they go, oh my gosh, a Sentinel is destroying New York. Let's go one punch it, get back to the Coffee Talk. And that's what comic books ended up being. And then, of course, you know, the race swaps, the gender swaps, so forth and so on. It was ridiculous. We used to call it SJW. Now it's called woke. Let's see. Oh, I didn't know you were on tonight. I skipped out on the auction so we could have some Christmas family fun. Also to give wallets a rest, because thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We managed to stay in the apartment. We've got a cushion, and the bills were paid. I was even able to get. Have you ever worn your shoes down to the point where they become flip-flops? I was able to get a pair of shoes, and that's good because I was walking around in the cold and the snow. It is like 3 steps wet socks. Wet socks are the worst. Yeah. That's why there's the red socks, there's the white socks. There was even the black socks for a little bit, but there was never the wet socks in baseball. Just saying. Female writers have an nasty habit of self. Oh, we called that a long time ago when we were OGCG. One of the things I called out was they stopped writing. They stopped trying to find the voice of the character, and they tried to give the characters their voice. And this has been going on now for 8 years. I talked about it in the beginning. It's okay, Rhaegar, who are the Secret Six? Jay, we're gonna get to your story here, sir.
Yep.
All righty. Let's see. DC adds Secret Six to its all-in lineup. And the thing that
these are not the Secret Six.
Yeah, the thing that got Jay's panties in a bunch,
big time, is
the inclusion of Superboy
and his boyfriend.
All right, so okay, from my understanding, the Secret Six was villains. It was kind of like DC's Suicide Squad.
Yeah, like a villains version. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
So
more like
also it
road
looks.
trip.
Oh, go on ahead, cartoons. Go on ahead.
I read the Secret Six as coming out when I was in my final years of high school, and it was Bane, Catman, the
Ragdoll, Mad Hatter.
ventriloquist, and
Wow, that was a good
Scandal
one.
Savage,
That was the
and
comic book.
Deadshot.
That was the comic book where we found out the Mad Hatter didn't need his hats. Because he and Dr. Psycho went head to head, literally. Also, they have the Dreamer, apparently. So, in the wake of absolute power, the Justice League has returned. The war criminal Amanda Waller is in prison, and things are finally back to normal until Dreamer, John Kent, and Jay Nakamura discover that Waller has somehow vanished into thin air from her cell. With no leads and nothing but questions, the three are forced into an uneasy alliance. How is it uneasy? Nobody's going to go against Dreamer because he's acting like a girl, and everybody is going to treat John Kent and Jay as heroes no matter what they do, like they did in the Superboy series, because they're gay. So where is the uneasy alliance? It's going to be the easiest thing in the with DC's ruthless supervillains, Catman and Deadshot and Black Alice. So yeah, they're going to be the we can do no wrongs, and there you go. To find Waller and reclaim the infinite trove of secrets locked in her head. At the same time, they will need to uncover their roles in a larger chess game without letting their individual secrets part. Getting to be part of the DC All-In, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. We made sure there's plenty of variants. Which, by the way, I am now convinced, more so than ever, that the more variants a book has, the less they gave a shit about writing.
Yes.
Please prove me wrong, DC. But I do think it's funny that that I'll give you the floor here, sir, if you want to go off for a little bit. I do think it's funny, though. I said that Superboy and his boyfriend Jay were supporting a terrorist group.
Yep.
And now it seems like they've said, yeah, they're villains. Anyway, there you go. I'll let you go on this.
Okay. You want to go? Yeah.
Yeah, go on ahead.
Yeah. Go you first, Jay.
Well, I know you did. You read the Simone Secret Six back in the mid-2000s, the one that branched off from Villains United.
Mm-hmm.
One of the great, in my opinion, one of the most underrated comic book runs ever. That there was a cool factor to that team that she captured, and yeah, they're villains. I think they kind of were anti-heroes too. It's been a long time since I read it, but Jay Nakamura and John Kent have no business being in a team like that. That's not. I don't even with maybe Jay, but he's a political terrorist or whatever. But even then, they're just horrible characters now. There's no cool factor to this, none whatsoever.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, they made sure that John Kent was not a cool character at all anymore, which is something because Peter J. Tomasi was writing the Super Sons, and they were freaking awesome. That
was a different John Kent, as far as I'm concerned.
And that's the way to save him.
Yeah,
find out that this John Kent is a clone, another universe's John Kent or something.
Yeah, I like to pretend he's Ultraman's biological son, and Ultraman is holding the real John Kent hostage.
There you go. There you go. One sleeping. Since the Batman is trying to be more grounded, they should put Mad Hatter as a main villain in the sequel. They could. But I hear it is going to be Clayface, and he's going to get his own movie or something like that. I can't put the gay genie back in the bottle or the crude version. You can't. Man, I'll tell you what. If I own DC, I would definitely. Okay, I'd be like Elon Musk going in with the kitchen sink. I'd be like, okay, everybody's auditioning for their jobs. Pitch me.
Mm-hmm.
And the first person to say the word gay on a character that's not is out. You know, If it hasn't been, look, I'm not bothered by making John Kent gay. He wasn't established. Apparently, he did have a girlfriend in Legion, but he wasn't really established. So, but I think they just fucked up by aging him up. They missed out on a great coming of age story, especially when you consider where Robin was raised, where Damian was raised. He was raised to believe that in a place where that kind of behavior gets you thrown off the building.
Yes, but according to Brian Michael Bendis, if you're younger than a teenager, then you're just not interested.
Yeah. So I think they missed out on a lot of really good stuff. It's the same thing with Harley Quinn. They missed out on the fact that Harley Quinn basically did this. She went from Joker to Poison Ivy, one villain to another villain. The real story for this one would be when Poison Ivy starts beating the shit out of her. And you find out that Harley Quinn is just living the pattern. You see this in actual abuse victims in real life. They just go from one abuser to another abuser. And that would have been an amazing story. Her working her way out of that would have been amazing. It's not just one thing. Okay, I'm not going to go with my bad boyfriend because.
Uh-oh. He fell again.
We don't have anything personally against homosexual summoner. It's the sexuality swapping that's annoying. No, whatever.
I'm starting to believe you guys are kicking me out so you can get a word in edgewise. That's fine. If I own DC, first thing I would do is tell the writers to write a story that erases the last 18 of all stories. Yeah. I mean, we need a Crisis on Infinite Earths like nobody's business. Yeah. Let's see. I don't understand any lies. People think it's just talk, so we will be graced with the first live appearance of Basil Carlos. This sounds promising. I hope so. I hope so. Sounds like someone's dog is licking the microphone.
That's
mine.
I
heard that a couple times. Yeah. Right. I wanted Pistachio down here. I put him on the shoulder, but he was just too rambunctious.
That's my
running
cat.
up and down such, yeah. But he's a good boy. Well, that actually happens in real life. Women get involved with abusive partners, seems to go from one to the other, like Mazda Flame. Not sure why it happens. And they had such a great opportunity to tell a real story, and didn't. Same with John and Damien.
Super Sons, yeah.
Yeah, they aged him up. They screwed up. I think it's Zach who said, Richard from your boy Zach, who mentioned that it seems like modern writers just go, wouldn't it be cool if, wouldn't it be cool if, wouldn't it be cool if? And I mean, right now you're getting a fart book from Harley Quinn, because wouldn't it be cool if we did a fart book from Harley Quinn? Somebody should have said no.
And no editor ever asks why this would be cool.
There's no
Never,
there's not a Paul
asked.
Levitz type. Sorry, CNC. There's not a Paul Levitz type who looked at his job as not just his management position and his editorial position. He looked at it as he was an ambassador of DC Comics, and so it was very important that he kept the essence of the characters intact. They don't have anybody like that in charge anymore. Dan Didio came in there and blew everything up, and even though he's been long gone for a while now, that's still the aftershock of that is still very much in place.
Rhaegar saying, speaking of Clayface, by the way, Arkham City is one of the greatest games ever made. If you know, you know. I would say actually it's the greatest game ever made, with our Arkham Knight being in number 2 and Arkham Asylum being number 3, then followed by Splinter Cell and Sniper Elite in any order you want to put them, because they're all awesome. Those are the games I play constantly. Like I'll interrupt. Oh, a new game. Okay, I'll start playing it, and then I will interrupt that new game to go play Batman or Sniper Elite or Splinter Cell. Those are the games I like. So
I don't know what I played more, Batman Arkham City or Injustice 1.
Oh, that's another. Yeah, I play Injustice and Injustice 2. I love the story on Injustice 2. The gameplay is okay. What's your character? What do you play on Injustice? Who is the one you fight better with?
The Green Arrow.
The Green Arrow? Yeah. How about you, Jay? Do you play?
I have Injustice 2. I learned something up about myself. I can't do fighting games anymore. I just can't remember all the moves like I used to. But it's an incredible game, though. Oh my gosh!
With Injustice, for me, it's Batgirl or Wonder Woman. I'm really good at those.
Oh, yeah, they're
Batgirls. Yeah. On Injustice 2, the Atom. Every day, twice on Tuesday, I will whip your ass with the Atom. That is, yeah, that bit he shrinks and then you could come up with a punch. That is something. Yeah. Rhaegar saying Atrocitus is my main man in Injustice 2. Yeah. Rhaegar saying followed by Xenogears. Yeah. I would say it's the greatest comic book game ever made, but greatest game ever made is Final Fantasy VII for me. You know what? God bless you. My daughter loves the Final Fantasy games. I am not an RPG fan. I tried. I played Final Fantasy X, and I think that was number 12. Number 12, I love. That game is ridiculous. That I think it was 12. But I could not stop laughing. I just gave it to my daughter. I said, I'm done. Because we got to a point where they meet this black guy, and this black guy is talking how a racist would write black dialogue. And no, I'm not like, whoa, that's so racist or anything. I'm laughing my ass off at this. It's like when I went and saw Thor: The Dark World in Thailand, and here comes Idris Elba, and he's like, "What? How you doing?" And I'm like, "Wait, what? Have y'all never heard Idris Elba talk? That's the guy you got? You going now? It's coming out." He's like, "No, lower the pitch a little bit." You know, it's like so ridiculous. But there was a black guy in this Final Fantasy game who had a bird in his afro, and his dialogue, that's his dialogue was straight out of the freaking Amos and Andy shows. I literally expect him to, at one point he was scared. He went, "Whoa!" I literally expect him to go, "Visa don't fail me now," and just run off to the side. I was like, God damn. It was ridiculous.
The Japanese are very racist, and black people love the anime culture, and they try to introduce themselves. If you try to introduce yourself as a black person, the Jack Somali guy, I don't know his name, he's a YouTuber, he was arrested and he's gonna serve 30 years in Korea because he acted like a black person. And they are very racist. And
yeah, a little bit. Let's see. I just disagree. I didn't take it. That's God bless you for it. Look, because when I saw that, I leaned into it. I was playing the games with my daughter, and I have to admit they are my best audience. So if I make them laugh, I am just going to double down on it. And you can't convince me what I saw wasn't what I saw, because I really did. I doubled and tripled down just to keep making them laugh. Notice that when they try to write an anti-racist character, they actually that does happen quite a bit. They actually end up being more racist. The best game for fun was named after me, The Perfect Dark. Okay, that's the shooting game, right? From late 90s, early 2000s.
Perfect Dark on the 64, yeah.
Yeah. Japan, black people does come off racist. FF13 takes place in the universe's longest hallway, says Jay. Okay. Yeah. I had fun for, oh wait. Yeah. That was the one also where he's running on the beach and the sound effect is, I was like, wait a second. Have they never run in sand before? Especially, I mean, at the very least, if you're running in beach sand, it's like rank, because it makes this kind of scrunching sound as you're running through. Yeah. Oh, my bird, by the way, when he doesn't like something, he goes rank, and he just heard me, and he just yeah, that's funny. No, God bless you. You like the RPGs? I've tried. I did play. I guess they're action RPGs like what is it? Marvel, the one where you play 4 characters.
Yeah, they had a few of those. They had X-Men. They had Ultimate Alliance.
Yeah, Ultimate Alliance was one I was talking about, but those X-Men games are good too. But yeah, I played action RPGs like that, and the one with Disney and Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts.
The DC one on Xbox and PlayStation wasn't horrible. It wasn't as good as the Marvel versions, but it was okay. You ever play it?
Which
Justice League.
Yeah, actually, yes. I had to get an extraction, so I was drugged out of my mind, and we knew I was going to be laid up for a couple of days. My wife was so kind enough to buy me the Justice League game because she knew I was just going to be sitting there playing video games. Awesome. And I did. I finished that with like three or 4 different times in a span of 2 days. I played the hell out of that game. It wasn't as good. Say again.
Do you even remember it? Because weren't you drugged up?
Yeah, I do remember that that you play against the Killer Bee. Dark Side was the very last villain. I remember that.
She was actually pretty hard from what I remember too.
And yeah, so I know different parts, but I don't have a clear memory of it. Also, if you have real people who behave that way, then you should just ban that. Isn't that what people were complaining about, making black characters bland and boring? That's true. Ultimate Doom was a game poured a ton of time into, says Dark Admiral. But yeah, those are my games, Batman and Splinter Cell, Sniper Elite. The one thing I don't like about Sniper Elite is it penalizes you for being a sniper. What the fuck is that about? You're supposed to sneak around and not kill people. That is literally not a sniper. Sniper is, I'm going to hang way back here and blow you up when you're just a little bit of a dot, you know? Which is the way I play the game. I don't care what they say. You know, I tried going quiet a couple of times. I'm like, I'm going to start a war here. / let somebody see me run up to a tower and let's see if I can survive. That's also how I played Grand Theft Auto. Go to Grand Theft Auto 3. There's a building you can go to, and you just rack up all the. I would rack up the police sirens, just popping people, and by the time they start sending tanks after you, I'm like, okay, now I've got to get to the garage, and that would be the way I played. I would try to make it to the garage before they killed me. It was wearing flip-flop. Also, the arcade game Stargate was fun. Even when they put on chip and you could play it on Atari. In the arcade, it was Donkey Kong. Originally, it was Donkey Kong for me, and then I graduated to stuff like Karate Champ. I remember liking the Indiana Jones games. A lot of good stuff. Call of Duty Black Ops 2, one of the best shooters, says Rhaegar. Yeah, it's good stuff. Good stuff, man. Right now, I'm going, because it's Christmas, I'm playing Batman Origins. It's a Christmas game, so I pop that out every Christmas just to work my way through it. Just started it. Yeah.
Something I wanted to see Rocksteady to do would be a Green Arrow game.
Yeah.
Out of the Batman. That would be very interesting.
Well,
Green Arrow is very different than Batman and how he acts and everything.
I'm surprised they didn't make a tie-in game for the show because it was so popular.
Warner Brothers increasingly just shoots themselves in the foot. The fact that when Warner Brothers acquired DC Comics, we should have seen, we did actually, Super Friends, and they had a Teen Titans and Aquaman and so forth and so on. But we should have been seeing this stuff constantly as far as movies, animated films. Warner Brothers should have become in Disney if Disney was all superheroes.
Yeah.
And
they had a near 40-year start on the MCU and blew it.
Yeah. It's ridiculous how bad Warner Brothers shoots themselves in the foot.
They turned their noses up at comic books. They still do, but it was really bad back in the 70s, 80s, as you know. So
Batman movies should be like James Bond. This is what I said when Batman and Robin came out. The movie was horrible. Okay, big fucking deal. 2 years, you get one back up. And you make that one better. But there should have been at least 1 or 2 superhero films a year since the 1970s.
Yep.
But
they should start working on Batman in the early 80s. Not that I didn't, I mean, I love the Burton Batmans, but I mean, the idea of doing a comic book universe back then, they would have laughed at that. You know, they just, comic books are silly.
Yeah, but
all that.
I don't trust them with anything. Look what they did to Mortal Kombat. They completely destroyed the IP. That multiverse BS.
Oh, yeah.
It makes no sense.
You better not let MK hear you say that.
You know, the person that put a quarter onto a fighting game and died 1 minute later, that was me. I did not play fighting games in the arcade with people. As a matter of fact, I walked away a couple of times. Like, because you could literally walk up to somebody who's just enjoying a solo game like I would normally do, put a quarter in, and now you're fighting them.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, no, because it's inevitable that the other person learned all the button combos and everything. And for the most part, like if I was playing Mortal Kombat, I'm a button pusher. And yeah, you were the guy who learned all the
memorized every combo and every fatality. I won 2 tournaments in my city when I was 10 and 11. Mortal Kombat 2 and Mortal Kombat Trilogy.
Yeah, for younger Gen Xers and older millennials, that was the mid-90s. It was all about taking people on in MK and MK2 and Street Fighter as well.
Not interested. Dark Admiral is saying his favorite arcade games was X-Men, Captain America. I love those games. The Avengers with the what do you call them? The freaking not Sinister Six, but with Moonstone and Whirlwind and all that. Radioactive Man, that was awesome. The X-Men game, I got that on my Xbox. They put that, The Simpsons, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They put all those side scroller games on. Yeah, I bought all of them because awesome. Yeah. Let's see. Currently, action game wise, I'm playing through Soul Reaver. Wow, that's old. Remastered as part of the Legacy of Kain series with an interesting take on Vamp. It was a lot of fun. I remember that one.
There he goes. Yeah, I got very good with Scorpion back in the 90s, and man, I loved using him. Trying to remember all the fatalities and friendships and all that. That was fun. Customizable cards.
Friendships were actually the easiest fatality in the arcade.
Do what now?
Huh?
What did you say?
Friendships were the easiest fatalities in the arcade.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it was just making fun of people, wasn't like brutal or anything like that. That was when you would not see, you actually begin to laugh at it.
Let's see. One of the computer games that's fun is City of Heroes. It's still going on. Where Myself Darkness Comes is in a game. Is Darkness Comes. That's. I remember the comic book series. I've never actually played the game itself. I did do Heroes for a while. That was a role-playing game, kind of like Dungeons and Dragons, but never did the computer games. But I'm more of a console person than a computer player, which I know I get a lot. I got a lot of shit from a lot of my friends who are more computer game players. Let's see. Soul Reaver Remastered just came out this week and is shined up, says Rhaegar. Too bad the first version of Street Fighter games are pointless to get since better versions came out. Do you know that the first time I saw a Street Fighter game, it had big ass buttons like this that you had to smash down? It was wild. It wasn't even like just tap tap. It was literally kind of press on that thing. It was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Raiden was my main. Me too. And no, wait, no. Which one was the hat? That guy. That was my guy in Mortal Kombat.
Kung Lao.
Kung Lao, yeah, that was my dude. Let's see, with his Superman move and teleports. Anyone remember Primal Rage or Clay Fighters? Yes, I have both of them on the Genesis. Clay Fighter, the controls were like tank-like, but it was a lot of fun. At least it was different. But that, yeah, I mean, but then again, with Sega Genesis, it was like, okay, bring on the Booger Man. You know, let's get something weird like that. By the way, this exists, and I played it on the computer for just a little bit before it went down. But did you know one of the last games ever produced for Genesis was Lobo?
Lobo?
Oh,
Lobo. Yeah,
wow.
like Main Man.
Man Lobo.
Yeah, I never saw a copy of it, but I heard about it, so I went and tried to find, I don't know what you guys call it when people boot it up onto a computer or something, but I found it, and it played for like maybe 8 to 10 seconds, and then it just kaput. But yeah, that was something. I want to play that game. I really do. Even though by all accounts, the people who had played it, I read it was a really shitty game, but why not? I played the Tick, by the way, which is a really shitty game, but I would still love to play it again. Computer games are so good. One that I loved was StarCraft, says Rhaegar, and its expansion Brood War, which is real-time strategy with space western influence from Aliens and Lovecraft. I loved Killer Instinct. Talking to Jay. Yep, me too.
Yep.
The combo and the dude with the mohawk were my to-go-tos. So my daughter, she's about, I want to say 5, maybe 6. And I get a game, it's called Dead or Alive. And it's a fighting game.
That was a good one. And
I'm good. I'm good at Dead or Alive. I get the combos and the counters and all that kind of stuff. I've got that. Don't have memorized like X, Y, push, you know, that kind of stuff. It's just, you can time it. And I was good at that. My daughter is fucking unreal at this game. It's 6 years old. So we're walking through, I don't know if you young people remember a store called Electronic Boutique, but they used to have, what do you call it? Games where you could play them, you could try them out, and they had Dead or Alive. So here comes where we walk up. My daughter sees it's Dead or Alive, and she wants to play it. So she's just standing there, and these guys are playing. And this guy gets his ass whipped, and he turns around and goes, ah. So my daughter steps up, which the guys laugh. And I think, oh, you have no idea what's coming to you. You have no fucking clue what's about to show up. And this is Ashley. This is great googly moogly. And this guy starts playing her because he thinks it's cute. Okay, let's let the little girl play. And she whips his ass. And man, you thought the guys were laughing at the other dude when he dropped, when a 6-year-old little freaking girl comes up and drops you in a freaking video game. It's done, man.
Oh yeah.
I mean, she has always been kind of a video game savant. But with Dead or Alive, forget about it. I bought one. I forget which number it was, but I bought one brand new. And she goes, "Do you mind if I play it? I'm sleeping. I just got home. I'm tired, so I lay down. Yeah, go on ahead. Just don't get all of the achievements. Fuck that." She went straight through it. I woke up hearing Aerosmith at the end of the game. I was like, oh, they got Aerosmith on? She says, yeah. I said, wait, did you finish the game? And she just kind of looked at me like, it's better to say sorry than ask permission, I guess.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, she went through and she got fucking everything. There you go. Good stuff, though. Just drove by a gas station and heard gunshots. That's not normal. It is if you live in Pine Hills, Florida. Apparently in Texas, to get away from the police, a guy drove into a mall. JCPenney drove a long way into the mall. Merry Christmas to the shoppers. I wonder if while he's driving through the mall, he's like, hey, they got a burger barn. Oh, wow, a lot of space in this mall. Yeah. If you know, you know, as the kids say. Oh, yeah, EA, I think that's what became a GameStop. Yep. Male ego destruction. Nope. It was a lot of fun though. My daughter's good at the games. That's actually how she met her guy in Wiki. country in New Zealand.
Oh, okay. I had to look up what this guy was talking about. Check this out. It was a shooting too. The mall, the guy drove into the JCPenney, and it happened in Killeen. And I don't know if you guys remember back in the 90s. That's the same town that dude drove into the Lubies and shot up everybody.
Really?
Yeah, same town. Wow.
Dark out. I'm more surprised that there's still a JCPenney's to have the guy drive it.
Right.
Have you seen those memes where the lonely Santa's sitting there, and a lonely mall Santa is just sitting and nobody's around, no kids are coming up? That's sad. I am shocked that malls aren't more popular up here in the north. It's indoor activities.
They are in Minnesota.
Yeah, I know. Well, yeah, you got the big one up there, but that should be all over the place in the north. It's cold. Go inside and do stuff, and malls would be perfect for it. Maybe not.
Yeah, COVID killed malls. There's no recovery from it.
You know what? It's been a couple of years. I'm calling bullshit on the COVID thing anymore. And at this point in time, yeah, make them entertainment centers, make them activity centers, make it so, especially up in the north, make it so you could go do things while it is snowing outside. For freaking hell, if it's big enough, put a water park in one of those,
city
in a Dillard's or something
an apartment
like that.
building.
Yep.
Yeah.
The mall in my city became an apartment building.
Oh, I saw the summer doing that as well. The mall near me closed 2 years ago. So many shops left, says one slick. Yep. Thanks, Fauci in China. Yeah. You know, I did actually see an article before all this started. This had me skeptical right away, where Fauci was talking about how he always wondered if he could shut down the world. Now he knows. Well, I don't think that's ever going to happen again, though. I was a mall rat when I was a kid, so was I.
Go to jail.
Yeah. When we were, I mean, of course, I was my kid to adult years, the 10 to 20 was the 80s, and malls were huge then. Excuse me, my eyes are just done here. Even before COVID, closed in malls was a way to spread colds. Malls never really appeared to me. In fact, the only stores I ever visited at a mall do not require a mall. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Don't make them shopping centers. Make them activity centers. Someplace for people to go to and do things.
Yep.
But what you gonna do? Between the arcade, the comic shop, Taco Bell, and girls, there was hardly a reason to go anywhere else, says Dark Admiral. With us, yeah, we would go. My favorite time in the malls, if you ever go to Extreme Movie Show, my friend Rob, he's there. He'll tell you. I moved away from Orlando. That's where I'm from, and my friends. But it wasn't so far that I wouldn't be able to, drive a couple hours to go get them, come in, and we'd have a stayover. And we would stay at the mall. There was a golden, it was called the Gold Mine or something like that. It was an arcade. There was this chili spot, served different kind of chilies. It was freaking awesome. Chocolate shop for little white chocolate discs. And then we would go into the ninja shop. Yes, that was a thing in the 80s. And we would buy whatever weird weapon we thought looked interesting at the time. And yeah, we would sometimes practice with them. I got in trouble because my wall had a whole bunch of throwing star holes in them. Nunchucks, all sorts of stuff. Chains. So, those you see, like Jackie Chan, he'll be swinging the chain around, put his feet to Mia. Never actually understood how to do that. So basically I had a chain with two weighted ends for no reason. Yeah. Remember when you could eat like a king with $3 Taco Bell? Man, I know, right? I did like arcades, but the days of those being in malls are long dead. Yeah. Some malls charge too much rent. Exactly. They need to understand that they ain't the cat's meow no more. It's faulted the Democrats increasing property tax. It's mall weapons, LOL, thing of the past. Yeah, ninja shops. Yeah, I'm 14. Can I get this now illegal butterfly knife? Yeah, thank you. That I found out later when I got pulled over after I got my license that I had an illegal butterfly knife. The blade was just a little bit over. I forget how. It's 40 years ago, so excuse me for not remembering everything. But it was just a touch over how long you could have your blades in Florida. But I had 3 or 4 butterfly knives and such, you know, because I was a badass ninja. I like to joke. I learned just enough martial arts to get my ass kicked. That's it. And just enough gymnastics to break my neck. Just enough, yeah. It's and just enough psychology to fuck you up. I can't help you. You tell me your problems, I'll make them worse. Yeah. There you go. What is that? A jack of all trades, a master of none. I think that's what they call it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Chinese stars and butterfly knife, says Dark Admiral. Exactly. You remember they actually had Ninja magazine in the 1980s? I shit you not,
yeah.
man. All
Ninjas
sorts
were
of
huge in the 80s.
Yeah, American Ninja England team. Are you kidding me? Did you ever see? You ever watch Cobra Kai?
Oh yeah.
And they got that fat guy who calls himself Falcon or something like that. I was like, yeah, okay, that would be me now, you know. But I never had the illusions that I was any sort of badass or anything like that. If I remember right, it was no longer than 6 inches fixed blade when I was growing up. That must have been it. You know what was fun? Those white guy ninja movies from the 1980s and 1990s. Yeah, not the Quaid brothers. Who was it? The guy who was the head of the FBI in Silence of the Lambs did a couple. I mean, he was in Silverado also. But he actually knows martial arts, and he was in a couple of these white guy ninja movies. The American Ninja. Oh, Stingray. Thank you, Dark Admiral.
Yeah.
The American Ninja movies were stupid fun. I love those films, man. Those were just a lot of fun. Yeah. We had a lot of good freaking bad movies back in the 80s.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Jay, you're an 80s kid?
Yeah, I was born in 76.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit. I'm 1970.
Right.
And that's one of the things I like is I was 10 years old when the 80s began, and so it's like brand new. When 80s culture started, that's when I hit my tween into the teens. Yeah, MTV started when I actually started my rebellious phase and all that kind of stuff. So it's a lot of fun. Good times had by all.
It was a
But yeah, by the way, one of the absolute best bad movies, if you guys haven't heard of it, it's I want to say 1985. Barry Gordy, who he was the producer of this. It was called The Last Dragon. This movie is it's bad. Don't get me wrong. This movie is bad, but it is so free.
And there he goes. The Last Dragon. It sounds familiar. I'm gonna look that up. So yeah, I won't be picking up that new Secret 6. I won't even acknowledge its existence after tonight. Oh yeah, I do remember that.
Hello again. Barry Gordy, Motown. Yeah, he produced a movie called The Last Dragon. And it's a bad movie, but it is so freaking cool. Make no mistake about that. This is a badass bad film. I watched it. I watched it earlier this year, and my wife Gail's just like, "This sucks. Why are we watching this shit?" What do you mean it sucks? I mean, it's a bad movie, but it doesn't suck. It's a lot of fun. It's stupid. You know, you got to get into that kind of thing. Blindwood Rutger Hauer. Yes, but there is a Blind Samurai film series from Japan. I didn't know they were just kind of remaking it for Rutger Hauer, but yeah, that movie was badass. Oh, that's the one with the golden light. He's got the glow, you know. Yeah, that one. It's also where we heard what was it? In the heat of the middle of the night. Oh.
Well, I'm gonna go turn in. I'll stay in the chat, man. But I'll talk to you guys later.
It's okay. We're an hour and a half in. I guess it's a good time as any. I guess.
Okay. Are you
Cartoons?
asleep?
Did you fall asleep?
I think you did.
All right, but yeah, sure enough, who's the baddest mother low down around this town? Sure enough, yeah, it's good stuff. All righty, guys, yeah, with the shoulder pads, yeah, you gotta check this show out if you haven't seen it. Once again, bad movie, but it's a lot of fun, and cartoons and comics fell asleep, guys. All righty, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for hanging out with us. Tomorrow we are doing another cover ranking. Monday is another stream like this. It'll be the last before Christmas. We might take, I know Christmas Eve is we're gonna take a break from streaming because that's my family does Christmas that night. And but Monday we're going to be doing another hangout stream. Tomorrow is going to be Santa Funnies from the 1940s, so it should be fun doing that. And I know, talking through the snow. Well, we could always just use his mic on that.
Sleep well, sweet prince.
I did that. I fell asleep on Comics Division's live stream one time. I came back from the theme park from Disney, zonked out of my mind, and I snore. And he had to contend with. So yeah. All righty, gang. You kids have a lot of fun. Don't forget to click like, share, subscribe, share, please. Sharing is actually the more important of them. And comment after this is posted. That works too. To get a little more eyes on the channel there. But mostly, thank you very, very much for watching. You kids have a great night and see you tomorrow.
Night.